What's up, guys? Welcome back in to another episode of Yoders Talk. As always, Clinton Yoder, Corey McClendon, the diehard Bravo Braves fan. Chop on, baby. Let's go.
That's right. It's my favorite week of the year. It is opening week when you are watching this. Opening day will be tomorrow. So it's my favorite day of the year. Huge Braves fan.
Love them. I mean, you have any jokes about the Braves that you would like to share that I feel like you should?
Here's the deal with the Braves. If you're a Braves fan, you know what I'm about to say. They're going to win probably 103 games this year, and then they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs, probably to the Phillies. I want the Braves to be my pallbearers when I die, so they can let me down one more time.
I love it. No, but, hey, we're a big Braves fan here as well, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for another great season of some good old American baseball.
That's right.
The real sport.
America's pastime.
Let's go. So, hey, thank y'all so much for spending your time with us today. We got an exciting episode coming up, so stick with us. Sit back, relax, whether you're driving down the highway, whether you're sitting in your office with nothing else to do but listening to these two rednecks. We hope you enjoy it. This is Season 2, Episode 8 of Yoders Talk.
Local governments or this or that or businesses that don't like me, and that's okay. They don't have to like me, and they can say negative things about me. That's okay because they have a passion for what they're doing.
Yeah.
If you work for the city and you don't like me, that's okay.
Yeah. Be okay with that, guys. Be okay with people not agreeing with your narrative, but also be okay with their narrative as far as don't hate on them.
Well, look at situations through others' perspective. And when you do that, you can see intentionality. Like, a lot of times, we sit there and we get hit with something in the moment, and we're like, oh, well, that inconvenienced me, and we get all up in arms about it. And then, but when you just take a minute and you step back and we go, well, was that really their intent to make me feel that way? Most of the time, it's not.
All right, guys, welcome back in. Another episode here at Yoders Talk. Man, I'm excited today. We have a guest on that we've been talking about wanting to get on for a while.
Yeah.
I guess you could call him maybe a somewhat of a local celebrity in some forms. With their Facebook page and everything. So, Corey, bring our guest on.
Yeah. So this gentleman, Sam Roberts, the owner of Uncle Sam's Mattress, and also the guy behind the scenes on Coleman Daily, which if you're around the Coleman area, you know that is your source to go for information in Coleman. So appreciate you coming on, Sam. Excited for you to be here.
Yeah, appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, let's just jump right into it. We talk a lot on this podcast about purpose and leading with a purpose. And so kind of to kick us off, can you kind of share just a bit of your journey that kind of helped you understand, maybe unlock and discover what your purpose is?
Yeah, well, in high school, I actually started a social media page for our school. I went to West Point, so just up the road from here.
Yeah.
Started a social media page that covered sports, basically at West Point, and I really had a passion for that, and I love seeing feeling like I was bringing the form of value and putting stuff out there, telling stories that wasn't going to be told otherwise, covering some other things. And I love seeing the reaction from people.
Yes.
I love creating the art or learning the art of doing things that people respond to, because I think that starting responses and reactions to things starts conversations, and conversations are a good thing. Even when it's things that people aren't necessarily comfortable with, it's always good to have a conversation about something. And I really felt like that was something that I loved doing, and I formed a passion for it. And after high school, I worked at the Coleman television station for about a year or so, and actually went in and purchased part of that station with another person, and sold out my half and started Coleman Daily in August of 2019. So this is 4.5 years that we've been working on that. And, this August will be 5 years. Coleman Daily.
Yeah, I guess you had COVID kind of over that time too, so a lot of people weren't out and about, so it kind of was a good time. That was a good time to get that going.
It was a really good time to start everything, just because there was a few. I feel like today it would be a lot harder to start the page and to grow the following that we've been able to grow. We've had a few things, unfortunate things, even like COVID, that really helped boost our following, because a lot of people were looking for information and looking for local information. And aside from that, President Donald Trump came to Coleman.
That's true.
That was a big thing, that put a lot of attention. That basically doubled our page following. Wow. That was in 2021. I think when we went into that, we had around 35,000 people in 2021. And then by the end of it, we had around 70,000.
Wow.
So we really doubled.
Where are y'all at by now? I mean, it's up there, isn't it?
On Facebook, a little over 120,000 people. But really, our following base is larger than that even. I mean, we have 122,000 people on there, but the amount of engagement, the people reacting with our content's actually more along the lines of a page that would have 300,000 or 400,000.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't have, not everybody is liking the page itself. But they're interacting with it.
They're interacting with it, and you see some brands that'll have like a really, like 500,000 followers, but the stuff they're putting out, it's just advertisements and stuff. And they're not having a big reaction with everything. Like I try to make it to where people come to our page to gain some form of value. They get information.
And you have fun.
Yeah, we have fun with it.
You have fun with it. You could tell it. That's always something that I feel like is missing in our, I guess you say, the marketplace today is, just, man, not everything has to be so serious. Man, it's important. There's important subjects that, be serious about, but, man, have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of fun with what you're doing. And we see that. I mean, just what y'all post and the things that are happening in Coleman, and it's some of the things are hilarious. I love it. I know it. It probably breeds a sense of hate in some areas. Some people don't like it. Some people probably, just like any social media platform or any kind of thing like that. There's that group out there. I guess you call them the keyboard warriors, the ones that sit there and have nothing else to do but find a reason to be pissed off.
Yeah. We get a lot of that.
So, but yeah, and with that, I mean, I think it's awesome though that at a young age, kind of discovering, finding what gets people going, what gets people, a lot of times we tend to try to make so that everything we do is so. We're cautious about it. We don't want to. We want everybody to look at what we're doing as just positive. No negative whatsoever. But someone once told me, they said, negative comments, negative advertising actually can boost your brand sometimes more than even positive. And what I mean by that is people that hate on what you're saying. Hate on what you're doing, because guess what they're doing? They're engaged.
Yeah, they're responding to it.
They're responding to it, and a lot of times I don't think they realize that they're actually, in a sense, benefiting you.
Yeah, I think I know. Even with the podcast, or even with Yoder Metal or Yoders Woodworks, there's times that we post stuff and we try to do a really good job of like filtering through stuff, and we're like, especially down at Yoder Metal, sometimes guys come up with ideas, and I'm like, the Steve Woodard, shout out Steve, his idea for a social media post.
That wouldn't have been too.
I'll just tell it. Okay.
Just say it.
So we had we have a contractor that we have down at Yoder Metal, and he is one of our favorite contractors. About 2 weeks ago, he had a heart attack in our lobby, and so as he's being carried out with a stretcher, he looks over at me and he's like, Corey, you need to post on social media that y'all's prices are so good that it gives your contractors heart attacks. And I'm like, great thought, but I don't know that would, so we try to filter things, which it can be funny to post that one. But, there's times that you just post something and you're like, what, like, just look at the post or read the post or whatever, and you get what we're trying to say. And I know you deal with that a ton, because like I follow your page. I think it's hilarious. A lot of the stuff, like the parking stuff, dude. Like the one you posted, I think it was like maybe last week, of the guy that, like, it looks like the car got hit, like how they were parked.
Yeah.
And it was like, owner of the blue Honda, sorry you had to find out this way. Dude, that's hilarious. Like, but like I understand, like, also there's people that probably think that's like mean or whatever, and there is something in our culture nowadays that it's like we have to be defenders of people that are not offended by things. And so I think it's weird that you see, like, people that have no stake in the game. They feel like they need to defend the people that they don't know if that person in the blue Honda, like, they probably laughed about it, and I'm sure they were upset in the moment, but they're probably at the same time they're sitting there like, well, it's kind of funny that I got posted on Coleman Daily.
Well, and then sometimes what a lot of people don't realize, a lot of times we'll have people on there say, oh, they're making fun of this kid, or they're doing this and that. Yeah. It's when it's that person that sent it to us, wanting us to post it all the time, especially with like kids in high school or younger people. A lot of times they'll be the ones like, will you post this? Yeah. And we'll post it, and everybody's like, I cannot believe they're making fun of this guy.
Yeah.
It's like, they asked us to.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, in today's society, we've lost the art of perspective, and we kind of lose that to understand that, like, hey, it can just be funny, like it can just be this, or like me and you were talking before. Like, I think some people, they feel the need that they have to react to it, like, or post and like be that defender or whatever, and you can just look at it and go, hey, I don't like it, that's not my thing, and that's okay. Yeah. Like, you can form your opinion about it and just let it be that. But you also, like, I'm also a believer, like, hey, we still have free speech in this country. Like, you can type whatever you want, but be okay when someone comes back and says, like, hey, I don't agree with your view of it too. Yeah. So
and the fact is, I'll just say it. We have a lot of idiots in today's world. I mean, 100%. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. I mean, it's what it is. Common sense is not common. Yeah. I mean, that's just a fact of it is. And one thing I'd like to ask you too is, of course you get the hate on the social media side, but let's go a little deeper, and I'll share on our end as well. With this success. Because I know that you probably never dreamed it would do what it has done, and maybe you did, but it grew really, really rapidly. Is there any form of, and you can share what you want here, but is there any form of hate that's like from your peers, the way people view you, and maybe it's not, but I've noticed that a lot of times the people closest to you at some part of your life, when you start having success, there's a form of people that kind of start that were close to you at one point that start to kind of maybe view you differently. Is that something that, and you ain't got, I'm not asking to go into details, who or anything, but is that something that you deal with?
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of people that, I mean, were friends growing up, or friends of parents or something, people who were close growing up who, I mean, think that I'm just not a good person. Yeah. Think that I get a lot of times people that say that, that I'm not Christian or this or that. And I'm like, based on what? Right. Like, based on your view of something that you have. I mean, it's crazy. But that's how, and honestly, stuff like that is the reason that a lot of people don't go to church these days, is because
you're right.
People, they'll look at one thing somebody's done and condemn them for it. And it's like, you can do 1,000 good things and you mess up one time. And I've made mistakes. There's probably some things I've done that came off in a different way than intended, 100%. Yes. And I've made mistakes, but if I hadn't made any mistakes, then I wouldn't have any following, because I've learned from everything that I've done.
Man, that fires me up, because people do not understand that. Yeah. So many people think that you just got lucky, that I just got lucky with success. But the fact is, hard work, failure, hard work, failure, hard work,
Absolutely.
failure, and guess what? It doesn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we entrepreneur people know what I'm talking about when I say that the roadmap to success through the eyes of an entrepreneur is not. You look at a spreadsheet that's got these, ups and downs, ups and downs.
100%.
That's over a 1 day period.
It's up and down every day.
Every day. I mean, but the people that hate on that are the people that haven't experienced that, and because they are afraid to fail.
Yeah.
They're afraid to take that step. And there's a quote here. It says, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts."
Yeah.
That's by Winston Churchill. I guess that's that guy that fought over there in World War II or something with Germans or something. I don't know. The reason I recognize that name.
You don't know who Winston Churchill is?
I do. Am I right though? He's the guy that
He was the prime minister for the UK
That's what
during
that's
World
what
War II.
Germany. That's what I was saying, Corey.
Not Germany.
No, like when Germans
Okay.
were coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not German. No, we're not.
Sorry.
Yes, the reason I just noticed that name, I should have looked who this quote was, but because I'm actually reading a book by him right now, or not by him, about him. So
Okay. I was like,
yeah, he wasn't
she scared
on the
me there.
German side. Yeah, we'll say that. So anyway, but yeah, see there I failed. So we'll continue here, but no, but yeah, I think there's like a true side there that people need to understand, that there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of struggle to find success, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, I mean, if people are going to judge you just off of one thing, people, that's fine. They can do that, but I'm going to continue doing what I'm going to do, and the only thing I have to know is what I'm intending to happen and what the result of that is. I think, in my opinion, I want to reach people that other people aren't reaching, because
Amen.
I want to connect with people. I want to connect with people who are drunk and they smoke pot, and that's the people I want to connect with, because I want to tell them about the Jesus that I know. But a lot of people think that if you hang out with a person like that, then you're just like them, or you're not a good person. But look at the people Jesus hung
That's
out
exactly
with.
right. I think,
look at the controversy they faced and they endured.
That's right, and I think you're onto it. Most times, hate comes from people that are supposedly believers.
Absolutely.
And I don't know why that is. I don't know. What the Bible talks a lot about envy.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks, and a lot of times in the form of people that are in the church, people that are believers. It says not to envy, and I think we went through a Sunday school class recently that was Paul was talking to a church saying, "Look, y'all have an issue with envy within your church," and I think that is probably one of the biggest things the American church faces today.
Absolutely,
is the envy, and then they view the people that you hang out with as who you are. But the fact is, Jesus hung out with the harlot. I mean, you just go down the list, but did that make him that? No, but he was able to reach them.
That's the thing. I think in our page, what we want to do, I want to do what I got to do to have the biggest reach. I don't want to lose or do things that aren't Christian-like in the process of that, but I want to reach people who oftentimes wouldn't have been reached. I want to reach the preacher just like I reach the sinner.
That's it. Yes. Amen.
The same thing.
Well, I think, we talked about it last week with Travis Key. I think so many times in the church, people think that we are called to be comfortable. And sometimes when you get around those people that may have some issues, I'll be honest, some of the best conversations I've ever had about Jesus have been in bars.
Absolutely.
Like just straight up, when there's been times in my life where I walked away from the faith and after my divorce and stuff, and I spiraled. And so some of the best conversations would be people come up to me and they would know that I used to be a pastor, and they would start, I'm sitting there drinking a beer or having a mixed drink, and somebody comes up and asks me about Jesus, and we're talking about God in a bar. And no, I'm not presenting the gospel the way in that time, but some of the deepest conversations I've ever had is with people that are far from God, and we are not in church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in different environments. And so sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone as Christians to be able to share the gospel, because that's where, honestly, people in church, I'm trying to think how to say this in a polite way. People in church, if you're going to church, your job, like you're there, you're already a follower of Christ. You need to be going out where people are not following Christ and sharing the gospel. That's where it's the most powerful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, they're not in church because they feel like they're not accepted at church. And as a church, you don't have to accept the things they do, but you can be their friend.
Amen.
Well,
amen. Amen. Preach it.
Like
Love it.
I'm old school, like Southern Baptist. My dad was a pastor in the Southern Baptist church. And so I can remember this one guy that used to say, like, this is how he used to say it. He would say, love the sinner, hate the sin.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, I love people naturally. Like, there's probably, I can't really think of anybody that I off the top of my head that I say, like, I just don't like that guy.
Yeah.
Like, or I don't like that girl. And so, like, it's natural for me just to like people. But, like, I also feel like there's a passion that Jesus has given me for those people to go out and just be nice to them.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't got to accept their lifestyle, or I have people that, like, I'm friends with someone that lives a homosexual lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Love the guy. He's great.
Yeah.
But there comes a time where if he ever asks me what my stance is, I'm going to tell him what I believe, what my opinion is, the gospel. But it doesn't give me a right to bash him over the head with it. I can just love him.
You will never reach him if you do.
Yeah, I can just.
You will never reach somebody if you view their mistakes, what they're going through. If you view them in that eyes, and I think that's what we were kind of getting to at the beginning, you will never reach them.
Yeah,
you absolutely will not. They're going to shut down. And they're going to view what a Christian is not what I want.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that's what we got to be so careful about, is that we don't portray that, because people take that personal, and they view one individual that's a so-called Christian. I want to make that very clear, that people that hate on people are not Christians. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say it. I mean, people can tell me they can say what they want, but that's the truth. And so yeah, I think we have to be very careful that we, let's truly show Jesus, and not, I'm just going to say it, not this American Christianity that ain't true Christianity.
Well,
I just say
I think so many times Christians get it mixed up, and I've got it mixed up before. My job is to introduce them to Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus' job is to walk them down the road of sanctification and reveal things in their lives that need to be changed, just like he's doing for me every day. Mm-hmm. He's revealing those things that need to be changed. But being around those people, love them.
So I got a question now to throw out here. How do we stay true to ourselves when we do have that coming at us? Like staying true to who we are when there's hate, when people are saying that you're this, you're that. There at Coleman Daily, how do y'all stay true to who y'all are at Coleman Daily with hate coming at you at times, people don't agreeing with maybe what you're doing, or not just, your personal success? How do you stay true to who you are? Because it's easy to cave to the narrative of what people are saying sometimes. So how do you kind of stay true to yourself in that?
I think one thing that I always look at, or I always want to stay true to at Coleman Daily, is I always want to be authentic, and I always want to be who I am 24/7. Mm-hmm. And I try to be the same person on social media or here or tonight or last or any time as I am 24/7. The jokes I make on Facebook, that's something I would say in a private setting. If you're not, if it's something you would say in a private setting, putting it on Facebook doesn't make it any different.
Exactly.
You know, like
Exactly.
that's the thing is I want to be the same person 24/7. And people who will say, well, you posted this and you should, that's sinful, that's not Christian like, but they would say the same thing in a private setting with a person. It's no different.
It's no
the
different.
same thing. And we want to walk with God and could always stand with the faith. And to me, the things that we do, I always want to see or know that what my intention is behind it.
Yes.
A lot of people will read comments or they'll read what other people are saying and then form their opinion.
True.
Don't do that. I look at things and I see what was done and then I form my own opinion on it. And people can have different opinions. That's okay. But what I want to do on everything I do, I know what my intention was. I know what I felt in my heart when I've done it. And that's all I got to know. If somebody says this or that about it, that's okay. They can have that opinion, and I respect that opinion.
Yes.
And that's another thing a lot of people have lost in modern times is the ability to just have respect for somebody. Republicans don't respect Democrats, and Democrats don't respect. Nobody respects anybody. People can have different opinions, and you can still have respect for them.
Amen.
Even there's a lot of people in local governments or this or that or businesses that don't like me, and that's okay. They don't have to like me, and they can say negative things about me. That's okay because they have a passion for what they're doing.
Yeah.
If you work for the city and you don't like me, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the base of that, I think everybody, or for the most part, everybody at the base of what they do and their opinions and their beliefs, there's a reason for it, and that they may think that what I'm doing is not a good thing for our community, and that's okay. That's their opinion.
That's their opinion. That's right.
I respect that. You know, I mean, because what they have is a passion. I think everybody should have a passion for what it is that they believe in, and they should do it. That's what I do. I follow my passion. If somebody else is doing something, you know, then that's okay.
It's okay. Amen.
Like, we
Amen.
don't
Good.
have to. We don't have to hate each other.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you know, it takes, you know, it takes thick skin at times, and that's okay. I mean, you know, people will say things about, you know, we have a lot of competition in our business, a ton of competition. Like, you know, especially in the storage barn industry, we have, you know, in our area, there's like, I think close to 12,000 buildings that get built within a 10-mile circle. I mean, it's insane. And there's times that there's things that get said about another company, and we take a stance here that we would never talk about our competition in a negative way, because that is, to me, that is wrong. It's just not okay. And, you know, there's people that say things about what we do. You know, we lead our business completely different. You can see on the podcast, we build a storage barn, but that is not what we do. We have a purpose behind, we have a God-given purpose behind what we do. It's just the tool that drives us. It's just I guess we call it the playground that God has us in to carry out our calling.
Yeah.
And so, you know, even if it's in competition, whether it be, you know, whatever, just, man, I do things the way I do it for a reason. They do it for their reason, for what they do, like you were saying. And be okay with that, guys. Be okay with people not agreeing with your narrative, but also be okay with their narrative as far as don't hate on them.
Well,
don't hate on them.
I think everybody has. I think like I said earlier, we've lost the art of seeing others' perspective, and that's if I could give, like, you know, I think a lot through the prism or the thought process of if I could give my sons anything, and that's something I feel like God's gifted me with, is being able to place myself in other people's situation and look at situations through others' perspective, and when you do that, you can see intentionality. Like, a lot of times, you know, we sit there and we get hit with something in the moment, and we're like, oh, well, that inconvenience me, and we get all up in arms about it, and then but when you just take a minute and you step back and we go, well, was that really their intent to make me feel that way? Most of the time, it's not. You know, it's just that's the way it did, and that's the way that hit me in that moment. And but I think if we can do a really good job of switching and looking at others' perspective and understanding that, in business, listen, there are tons of people in this area that need storage barns. There are tons of people that need metal roofs. There are tons of people that need mattresses. In every businesses, there's enough to go around, right? If you start looking like, we do something down at Yoder Metal, we actually intentionally pray for our competition. Like, I want them to have success. I don't want that, because here's the thing. We look a lot of times as just a building as our competition. But no, inside of that building, there are people.
Yeah.
Families.
And inside of those people's lives, I think about this all the time. Like at one of our biggest competitions, or competitors, there's probably a dad that's over there that has a wife, that has 2 young sons, and they're just trying to put food on the table, just like I am.
Yeah.
And so I want them to have success, but I also want us to have success too. So I'm going to do everything I can do to do a good job, but I don't hate on them because they're doing the same thing as us.
I think too, we need to make sure that we just focus on doing it right on our end.
Yeah, that's everything we do and everything I do with my other business. I want, that's my intention. Do what I need to do. Don't worry about what other people think I should be doing. Do what is best for me, and do what's right and Christian like and all that kind of thing. And don't worry about what other people are saying, because I've probably said stuff about other people too that I didn't mean or that I shouldn't have said. We all make mistakes.
Absolutely.
And you can't judge somebody or just completely write something off because of that.
Yeah. But and I want to make this very clear. We are a fan of Coleman Daily. We absolutely love it. We absolutely love it.
We've made. I know you've made Coleman Daily one time.
Yeah, I did. I made Coleman Daily one time. It was, if people recall, it was at the Buena Vista restaurant in Coleman. There was a picture of a 8-point buck on the back of a flatbed truck. Right here it is. It's me.
Hey, that was a good deer.
It was great deer. I'll admit that I could have put it on a truck that wasn't a flatbed, and
you were just trying to show it off a little bit, wasn't you? Just trying to show it off.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, I was.
And then probably the same flatbed made the Coleman Daily again.
Yes.
Yeah, park another day.
Yeah.
There was another one too.
So, and I think this is past the statute of limitations. So right down the road, when we were moving your dad out of his house, there was a kitchen table that had to be moved across the road to Yoder Metal. And so there is a picture of Brandon Lynch and Osvaldo riding on the back, holding the table and chairs as it goes across 157. So, but we had a good laugh at that.
And that's the thing. I mean, for me, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like, that is great. That is and people need to get out of their feelings when, I mean, if it's something, if you end up on a social media thing, hey, I had the deer on the back of the truck. Come on, in the middle of town. I mean, who is not going to take a picture of that? Who is not going to laugh about that? I mean, come on, get out of your feelings.
Well, and
accept a joke. That's another thing we've missed, and I think today's world, what we've done is we've created this idea that there's that people are only perfect. There's you can't be anything but perfect, and it's the probably social media in general has created this narrative that these lives are just, everybody's life is just perfect.
Yeah.
But the fact is, man, we got a lot that we got to get together. Each one of us. I mean, and take a joke. If you're the side of a joke at some point in your life, dude, take it on the chin. Laugh with the people. The thing what people need to understand is a lot of times when you get upset, when you get offended about something like that, all it does is drives people to do it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It just does. It just does.
They're as the safety type guy down there, I was like, hey guys, let's not do that ever again. Like, let's not. We can strap that stuff down. Let's not ride on the back. But no, that was. y'all post stuff. But another thing I want to shout you out for, dude, you post stuff that means something.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
I know a couple of days ago you posted about that young girl with the domestic violence issue, and we're praying for their family as they're going through that. Like, you post stuff and it gets the community engaged in situations that, hey, like, we need to just be engaged and pray for that family or try to help, and it kind of helps the community kind of funnel resources.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so that's huge. So
Well, and like I said, a lot of what I do, and even some of the funny stuff and some of the other things that we post, the intention of it is to create conversations with people.
Yes.
Even sometimes the conversations aren't comfortable, but that's something we shouldn't shy away from.
Yeah.
I think people talking things out could always lead to a better compromise or solution.
Yeah.
We if it's not talked out, we assume.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what I want to create conversations with people, create engagement in local businesses. Like the lady with the domestic violence case, create awareness around that subject.
Yeah.
But without some of the other things that help create a reaction with people, that wouldn't be possible, because that's how we built our following.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
And
right.
then
Yes.
I try to see everything that we do as, what's the point of doing it if I can't create if this serves no purpose, or if nobody's reading it. I get,
Yes.
because everybody, a lot of times we get, why don't you run like traditional news stories? Well, nobody's really reading that anymore. We could.
well, I was going to
Thank
say,
you for not.
yeah, on that aspect, me and my wife used to get up. We'd get up in the mornings and we'd turn on the news, and we'd kind of like watch the news. And we probably about a month or two ago made a switch where we're just like, I just don't want to watch that stuff anymore. Like, because like you start out your day and it's like 5 people were shot, and you're like, well, God, like, I'm just trying to drink my coffee here, or so there's times for that, but I feel like you have a healthy balance of like, hey, this is going on in the community, especially if there's a danger to the public or something like that.
Yeah.
I think you do a great job with that, but also like, during the ice storm or whatever we want to call that, 2 weeks or what felt like 5 months.
Yeah.
I live down in Gardendale. So Gardendale was really, like, we were good, but I drive all the way up here. So that was my first reaction, is hop on Facebook, look at Coleman Daily, and you were updating about the roads. And so, you do a lot of great things for the community, but I also know that, there are times where people are just going to be mean and just going to say whatever. So one of the things I did want to ask you, has there been times that maybe during those where you're just getting tons of hate that maybe you feel like you need to reassess or pivot the approach to how you're doing things when you're faced with that adversity?
Well, we get we get a lot of negativity sometimes, and a lot of people attack me personally, and that used to, I guess, have a bigger effect on me, or bothered me more than what it does now. But ultimately, the way I look at it, because I say, I laugh at some people too sometimes, and so when they turn around and laugh at me, that's okay.
Yeah.
They can. That's fine. I don't have any problem with that. There's pages created that essentially do nothing but make fun of me. And people's like, why don't you sue them or this or that? I don't care. They can do what, like, that would, if I'd done that, then I would be compromising my own values.
Yeah.
Even though, people, like I said, these people, they probably have a reason behind what they believe, and they think that I'm not a good person or what, and that's okay. Yeah. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, and people can laugh at that. That's completely okay, and I have no issue with that. But there's times that we've probably made, like I said, I've made mistakes and done things that, looking back, probably wasn't the best decision. But if I hadn't, I learned from that.
Yes,
I learned from that mistake, and that's okay. People make mistakes. A lot of times people make mistakes, and everybody writes them off, and they think they're just not a good person, and they shouldn't be around, and they shouldn't ever be able to have success or anything. And that's a terrible way to look at it.
It is. It just is. I mean, and the thing of attacking someone personally, that's become a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about our businesses and things, but man, when people start going around and taking personal shots,
Mm-hmm.
there is an effect, subconsciously that you have to work through. And like you said, it's, at the beginning of it, especially when people start, even on our podcast here, there's been a couple people that said, well, y'all are not true believers because of this and this and that. Not a shot at our podcast, but a shot at us.
Mm-hmm.
And in the moment, a couple times I'll be like, man, that sucks. That sucks. But then I stop and think, but I know who I am. Hold up a second. Hold up. Wait. I know who I am. I'm not that guy. So who cares what they say? I'm a believer. I know who I am. I know the God that has saved me, and I'm not going to worry about what they have to say about that. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. Guess what? And you probably get this as well a lot. There's a lot of good comments that come back. Hey, good job. Hey, that affected me in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that, and I want to thank people for doing that. We need to do that more because it's easy to say hate, but it seems to it's hard to say kind words sometimes. There's a quote that I love. It says this. It says, lies will go around the world 10 times before truth is even getting their pants on. But truth eventually walks out the front door.
Yeah.
And it is revealed to the world.
Well,
And so we have to understand that, with success, that it's going to come with it. I mean, personal attacks are going to come with it, and we have to just have thick skin, take it on the chin, be true to who we are, not change just because of someone, the small group that thinks negatively of you. Because the truth is, it's a lot smaller than what it probably seems because they're the loudest.
Yeah, it's like when you look at reviews of a business, they're all either 1 star or 5 stars. There's no 2, 3, and 4s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only the people who are really mad, that's the one who leave reviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is something personally that I try to keep in my own heart, and I've had times where people say things about me on Facebook or whatever, and I love my wife to death. My wife's my biggest offender, and she's awesome. Love you, baby. So one thing, because she's my biggest offender, she's like, we need to respond, and I'm like, no, like we're good, we're okay, like it's fine.
Yeah, that's how I think a lot of times people will be saying something about me, and everybody's like, what are you going to say back? What are you going to say back? What are you going to say back? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah, but
Silence is a killer.
well,
in the sense of hate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Silence is a killer in the sense of hate.
we went through a situation back a couple months ago where
Which one?
where I got where my name got ran through the mud a little bit through a situation.
Yes. I do recall that.
And I was talking to my wife about it, and she said, do you feel like you need to go talk to Clinton, and you need to tell Jimmy this and that, and even in myself, like I was like, oh, I need to defend myself. But one thing that stood out to me, I sat there and I said, my character will stand on its own.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to defending yourself, and when people are like, what are you going to say back? How are you going to respond? I don't want to respond with my words. I want to respond with my actions.
Amen.
Yeah.
Good
Yep.
work. That is very true. Very, very true. Because words are just as empty as they sound. I mean, truthfully, words are empty. There's, we can say what we want. How many times in life have we been like, we're going to do this and this and this? Hey, guess what? If we didn't take action on it,
it doesn't matter.
And a lot of times, I think that may be where people actually find the thing of not liking when people, or maybe the envy side of it is, they had a lot of dreams. They had a lot of ideas. They had a lot of where they want to be in life. But one thing they never did is took action. They never, ever took action. And so they view people that did step out, did take action and step out of their comfort zone and go through failure as the bad guy because it's not fair. They got lucky. I want to tell you right now, there is no luck in success. Success comes with grind. It comes with, messing up, getting back up, messing up, getting back up, and that is where success comes. And the level of success. That's something else I want to say too is and talk through. Success comes in different levels. There's not I have to be here, and now I have success. Success can be in the smallest level, and it can be in the largest level. Yeah. We like to say, social media or TikToks and all that. They tend to paint this picture of what success is. It's got to be perfect. But the fact is, if you're happy with where you are in life,
yeah, then that's success.
That is success.
Absolutely.
If you're happy with, the job that you're in, maybe yes, you would love to be in a different position. Maybe you would love to be in a executive position in a business or something like that. But you're happy. You feel good with where you are. Man, be okay with that. And yeah, keep working hard. But the people that end up moving up in companies a lot of times are the ones that, they're not envying the people above them. They're making sure that they're doing what they need to do. They're happy with where they're at. They're happy with their success, but they continue to grind. They continue to work hard, and then they start getting noticed. And so, yeah, I would encourage everybody out there, don't view success in the eyes of others. View success in your own eyes and in the eyes of God. I will say this, too, that if you're a child of God, you're a successful person.
Yeah.
That's the fact.
Absolutely.
That's a fact. And so I would encourage everyone to just understand that success comes in different forms, and maybe where you are today is where you should be.
Yeah.
Maybe where you are today is where you should be. And but yeah, man, I appreciate the fact that you do what you do and are okay with it, because it needs to be different. The narrative today in our media or in news and things like that, you've created a different narrative.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that. I really do, because it's you said it doesn't have to be like it always was.
Yeah, change can be a good thing.
Yes,
it can be a good thing. And what I want to do is show the community, or show the world, that our community through my eyes. And you don't have to agree with the way I see things, but that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have got so used to seeing traditional media that's done in a completely different way. You're seeing things through, but when you're following traditional media, there's almost always some major company that holds it up the top, and you don't even know whose eyes you're seeing it through. You're always, everything you read is written from somebody's perspective. It doesn't matter if they say they're in the middle.
Yeah,
it's always from their perspective. I like to give people my perspective to help them form theirs.
Yes, and I like too that you put the truth out there.
Yeah,
that's something about y'all's page that is very comforting. You go to, especially national news media. You don't really know what's truth and what ain't.
Yeah. And
one thing I really appreciate about y'all is that, like you said, you do. There's some funny things that get on put on there, but when the serious stuff happens, it's truth. Y'all don't just throw things out there that are what ifs, and I appreciate that, because that's missing in today's media. It used to be where you'd go to the news to truly find out what's happening. Today you go, you watch, and I'm going to say it. It don't matter what it's on. It don't matter if it's Fox, CNN, all of them. They all have a narrative. They all have a reason they're doing. They're putting it out there. There's probably somebody in the back end paying them to do what they're doing and saying what they're saying. And but I love the fact that Coleman is awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
I've been all over the country, and there's nowhere I would rather live than
Coleman, Alabama.
Right here.
I've lived. We moved over from Montezuma when I was 2, and I've lived in Coleman my whole life. And people ask me all the time, from the outside, Coleman has kind of a, I don't want to say a negative. You hear, oh, you're from Coleman. Oh, you're from Coleman. But man, you get here, the people here are awesome. The people here care. They have your back. And I love that about Coleman. And it's growing. There's a lot of people moving in. But you find somebody that's moving in and ask them, what do you think of Coleman? Especially ones that are coming from bigger cities and they move into Coleman. And they'll tell you, man, these people are just nice.
Yeah.
They're just awesome. And, Coleman has had a narrative at one point that probably wasn't the greatest. But guys, that's the past. Coleman's and everybody that understands Coleman probably knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But today it's not that way, man. We love on you. You move into this area, you're gonna find out really quick that, hey, these people, you can go to your neighbor and say, hey, I'm needing something, and they're gonna have your back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And so,
Yeah, kind of finishing this out. I always like to ask this when we talk about a subject. What would be some advice that you would give to others that might be facing kind of the similar conflicts or pushback in their pursuit of what they feel like they're meant to do?
Well, to always be yourself and to do what you know is right, and don't worry about what other people say about it. Don't try and craft the things that you're doing so other people feel like what you're doing is a good thing.
Yeah.
You're always going to have people who look at it negatively, and you can respect them too, because those people are probably passionate about whatever reasons they have. Everybody has their reasons and their opinions behind things, and that's okay. We can all respect each other, but at the end of the day, do what you need to do and know your intentions behind it and the results it brings, and that's the only thing that you have to know. People can say whatever they want to say, and that's okay, but always stand behind your own values.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to fail. I know I've went up and down and up, and it's not a steady climb.
No. No.
But just got to keep moving forward.
I like to look at that graph as, if you look at it in a day, it's like, wow, it's up and down. If you look at it in a week, it's still up and down. But if you get back and view it from a 10-year perspective, there is an upward climb. You don't see, yes, there are them little things, but you see a steady trend up.
Yeah,
over time. So, I'll share on that as well. Guys, don't stop. Don't quit. Keep grinding. Keep fighting. Hate comes, brush it off. Don't allow that to make your decision and determine your life by what others' narrative is of you. Make sure that you are, locked into your purpose and locked into why you're doing what you're doing. And I think if you do that, you'll realize really quick that all that other is just noise.
Yeah.
And the louder people get, the more people notice you. And a lot of times that also brings the good people to you as well, the people that actually like what you're doing, care what you're doing. So, view hate, and in a sense, I don't even like to really call it hate. Maybe view people that have their other opinion as a way to reach more people, to continue growing whatever purpose you have, and just keep grinding. So that's my perspective here. I'm a 31-year-old Mennonite boy from Coleman, Alabama, that at one time in his life thought he knew what he was doing, but the older I get, realized that it's not about what I know, it's about what I learn. And I don't know if that makes any sense. It's what I learn, and what I learn on the journey, and that's where you find your success in making sure that you stay true to yourself and who you are. So,
yeah.
But good stuff, man. Man, Sam, I appreciate you spending the time with us today.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite. Really enjoyed it.
We there's a lot of people that that ask to come on and all this and that, but we love the idea of bringing people on here that are from local community, people that in a sense like to do it right. We see y'all do, and y'all like to run your business right, and you care. That's another big thing we like is bringing people on that care. We see that you care about what you do, and so thank you Coleman Daily for what y'all do and for our community, because I love it. And to all the people out there that don't agree with me, that's okay. I love y'all too. So anything else here, Corey, that you want to drop?
Really, really thankful to have you sharing some of those thoughts. I know I took some notes just to help me. So, but I really do appreciate it. And thank you, Sean, back there.
Sean.
The man behind the curtain.
Yep.
I appreciate you. But man, great conversation. I'm excited.
Yep. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep
Yeah.
going. Let's not stop. We there's a lot. This year's the election year. There's a lot of uncertainty, but hey, it ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop people that are determined.
Yeah.
And Coleman County is a determined county. We're growing. I love it. I love everybody in Coleman. You picked a wonderful place to live, and let's keep bringing positivity to this world around us, Coleman. So we'll jump now into the read of the week. So today we are going to be talking. The read of the week is called "The Monk and the Merchant." It's the legend of the monk and the merchant. This book brings out. It talks about if I can find it here. It's the 12 steps to a successful living. I read it. It's been a little bit already since I've read it, but it brings out a different perspective, kind of what we talked about today. A lot of it actually is in there. There was a gentleman that had a very successful business way back. I'm talking way back in the day, and he was teaching a young man how to be successful. And so it's 12 keys to successful living, and man, it's wonderful. So pick that up. Remember, readers.
Leaders.
Sorry,
Are,
there we go.
leaders are readers.
Leaders are readers. Leaders are readers. So that's the book of the week. Let's keep grinding, people. Let's not step back from just because people don't like what you're doing. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep this thing moving forward. We love y'all. We love everybody that spends the time out of their day to listen to these two guys chat about just life and things in business that we face, things we face personally. So make sure you keep watching, keep sharing, keep subscribing. Remember, guys, we're on Spotify now, so you can go over there and listen to us as well there. So let's keep getting it out there. So we appreciate each one, and we love y'all, and we wish nothing but the best for y'all, and God bless y'all this week and the remainder of this year. And just keep grinding. We love y'all. Peace out. Thank you guys so much for going on this journey with us. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and also take a look at our past content.
Thank you so much. Your support means the world to us. And remember, keep watching, keep learning, and always lead with a purpose.